I am making this video to give a little insight into what I've been dealing with. I really had to pray on it because I knew once I recorded this, the attacks would get worse. Group has been trying to alter destiny and take my life. I am being spiritually attacked by known and unknown groups of people. People that were orchestrated to attack me because of lies that were started and spread by my ex, his wife, his family, and as well as my family and friends. Many that are viewing this video are either aware of what is happening, a part of what is happening, may have a similar story, or just curious. It really doesn't matter the reason, the message is still the same. Good versus evil, love over hate. All because I chose to trust someone. I trusted them in my home, around my children, around my family and friends, and also with me. I saw my ex as a person he presented himself to be. But what I didn't know is he saw me as an easy target. Not because I lacked, not because I was needy, but because I was a single mother, kept a small circle, led my life with love, easy, and had my own money to take care of myself. Me being an empath made me a prime target, supply, for him and eventually his group. I only saw what he presented to me, the version he wanted me to see, and he presented it flawlessly. But underneath that sweet smile and the perfect teeth was a very demonic, spiteful spirit with a narcissistic personality. Once he felt he had me, the other side started to show. He was very abusive for a long time. And because I grew up with that same type of energy from my mother, I was used to it, so I was able to hold my own. But eventually, it turned physical. All because he needed to break my spirit. He needed to break my spirit so I could become a host just like him. To be part of his polyamorous lifestyle that I then was very much unaware of. When I rejected him because of the physical abuse, I didn't do it to hurt him. I did it to save me before it went too far. I definitely was no saint in this relationship either. I fussed a lot because he hurt me, and I had had enough. When I walked away, I didn't slander his name, put him on child support. I didn't even let people know he had been abusive. I didn't even speak on the secrets he had told me about members of his family or childhood. I just wanted to be left alone. I didn't care what he did with his life. I told him I wished him well and hoped he would be happy. I just wanted him to leave me and my kids alone. That's where I underestimated the dark side of him. How deep his envy and spitefulness ran. See, with the type of evil spirits that he has, they feed off of trauma and insecurities. The very thing you would not want to speak about is what it feeds on. My ex and his wife, yes, he was in an entire relationship and he hid it from me. Took my name and drug it through the mud, all for money. Was willing to sacrifice me and my children for wealth and fame. I told him exactly what was going to happen to him, all the way down to a certain type of female he was going to meet back in 2020. And for a short time, he got his wishes granted. He got that woman, that particular female, by sacrificing me. They said I made my money by prostitution. I was mentally ill so I could lose my children. His wife uses magic to protect her messy life as if it's mine, and my life as if it's hers, to the public. So she became my copycat, watches me continuously, steals my work, and reposts it on other platforms as if I don't know, as if it's hers. I don't mind sharing or repost, but give me credit, as my content is protected. So please don't try to recreate this video or try to come up with a copyright lawsuit. Him and his wife and his family filed false police reports, got people to hack my military files, claim I had an STD, and even stole me and my kids' identity to hide their illegal dealings and gain financially off of it. Altering records that were not theirs. Presenting things that they should have never had access to. Intimate moments were recorded without my consent between what I thought was, at the time, a loving relationship to only put it out on sites to make money in hopes of blackmailing me for money. They gang stalked me, followed me, tracked me, hired a spiritual hitman, and even took out a life insurance policy on me to gain insurance money by saying I was dead, looked very alive. All this so my ex and his family could make temporary gains off of my energy and my name. And to make the matters even sadder, my own family helped with these attacks and spread these lies to also gain wealth off of me. All in efforts to hide what they had stolen from me long ago, to cover up a will and estate, all because they didn't want me to have it. They didn't like my love life. They didn't like how I operated. This group was sophisticated. They have cops, judges, lawyers, and military personnel working for them. They have their hands in real estate, banking, extortion, and sex trafficking. There was no limit to what these evil spirits were willing to do to destroy or silence me. Just how deep this rabbit hole went is still surprising me today as more keeps surfacing. So I say all of that to show that unfortunately some of us meet these evil spirits, demonic spirits, early on in our life, in our mothers, fathers, siblings, or just people we were told to trust as children. Because of that, it alters how we grow up. It alters how we see others and how we treat others. Some of us grow to be empathic and caring because it was withheld from us as a child, and others embrace that evil spirit and become just like their oppressors. Whether it's emotional, verbal, physical, or spiritual, it's all still abuse, which I have been a victim of all. Now, this is no fault of any child, but as we grow up into adults, it is our responsibility to heal our traumas, to notice the red flags and remove ourselves from situations that no longer serve us. Because if we don't, we will turn into two types of people: one that allows unnecessary hurt into their lives, and one that continues harsh cycles to hurt others because they were hurt themselves. Not dealing with trauma, we eventually attract, and cross paths with the same evil energy, just in different people. Rather it be in our lovers, spouses, bosses, co-workers, or even a stranger we encounter on the street. That demonic evil spirit, it doesn't discriminate. They will enter any race at any age, as long as the person's vibration is low enough. All it wants is a host, a person that was still damaged, is misguided, one that lacks empathy, has a jealous heart, lustful tendencies, ones that are greedy, value material things over people, and so on. You get what I'm trying to say. A person that has unresolved emotional trauma that they are repressing out of fear of being shamed or not accepted by family and friends, which is another trauma in itself. And it's one that's self-inflicted. Now, I'm not an expert on all these things, but I have witnessed and lived this. I was once that very person, the one that repressed abuse and became a magnet for the very evil-spirited people. I was a sweet, loving child that was severely emotionally and verbally abused by a narcissistic mother. I grew up being very empathic, but attracted a lot of people with that same narcissistic energy and traits. And because of this, when I was younger, I got into a lot of trouble. I overdrank, just did things I morally knew better. I was around the wrong crowd and followed, their ways so I could fit in. I wasn't above mistakes. I learned how to cope with my traumas by repressing it and still became very successful. I hid my hurt very well. I put myself together from a misguided youth and made a life for myself. Only one issue: I still had unresolved childhood trauma. On the outside, I had my life together, but on the inside, it was a constant internal battle between dark and light, asking and praying, why does this keep happening to me? I treat people so well. I was willing to give them my last. I don't judge people because of their past or where they come from. So why is this happening? And for about 6 years, I had no internal battles anymore. So I didn't question it. But after a near-death event in 2021, I heard the call. Spirit sent me, my guardian angels, my ancestors, and my grandparents to show me where I was going wrong. It wasn't in how I was treating others. My heart was pure and genuine with intent. It was the lack of love I was giving myself and the lack I was accepting, from others. I was so fixed on not letting anyone I encountered feel or be treated the way I was as a child that I always put myself last, my feelings, my needs, and my wants. And because of that, I went through painful situations I could have avoided and people that I should have ran away from long before I did. See, what was hidden was Spirit was testing me. I was having to go through the dark so I could show others to the light. And no matter how many times I went through the dark, my heart and intent was still pure. I could operate between the light and the dark and not let it corrupt my spirit. I was literally sent into the lion's den to my ex years back to help save his soul from the darkness, from his oppressors. I was to be the light to lead him to his path as his life had a higher calling. Unfortunately, he didn't want to answer the call and chose another path that has now accumulated so much karma debt and nothing but pain. While helping him, I was also enlightened to another part of my higher calling. And that is has been hidden from me since I was a child. My grandparents, an aunt and an uncle that have since passed, knew I had a calling on my life. They knew I was gifted in ways that could help people and humanity. Gifts that some evil-spirited family members wanted to block me from. What they knew is I was born a starseed. I am a chosen one of the 144,000 sent to help heal the earth and humanity, to help balance the scales and illuminate the path for others. Holy Spirit has shown me my lineage, the gods and goddesses that are in my bloodline and where I come from, has shown me my future and how my life will be fulfilled all the way into my older age. The so-called unexplained and normal weather patterns that we've been experiencing lately, they're very explainable. It's just a spiritual warfare that is going on right now. Miracles are happening before your eyes, and Spirit is now preparing a table right in front of my enemies. These same enemies that brought a group of many from different states and overseas to spiritually attack me and physically harm me. But what they didn't know is they really brought me an audience to be my witness. So to my enemies, your attacks didn't work. The black magic curses at the crossroads and the binding you tried only hurt you and your loved ones. You binded yourself to the devil with the same chains you held for me. I am not staying quiet any longer. My time of rest is over. What my ex, his family, his friends, and my family did to me will not happen again. All of it will be brought to the light. I was not their first victim, but I will be their last. You all will not hurt any more innocent people. Karma is coming swiftly. The wheel has been turned and the Holy Spirit has spoken. So to my enemies, I forgive you. Not for you, but for myself. Although you continue to try to hurt me and my children to this very day. I hold no hate in my heart for you at all. My light shines too bright and I refuse to allow another to dim it. My path has been shown to me and I will do what I was called to do. Remember, love with pure intent, because love is the new currency.